for my Random Thoughts Thursdays, I'm going to continue my Meet the Crew. So today's part 2, and I'm going to show you how Miss Grinchy came into my life. So before I can tell you about how I ended up with Grinchy, I have to tell you a little bit about Grinchy's brother, George, who is basically the reason I ended up with Grinch. So before I can tell you about how I ended up with Grinchy, I have to tell you a little bit of a backstory. So before Grinch, I had her brother whose name was George. And George came from the Moore family, which is Chelsea and Annette, who are good friends of mine. Annette is the one I call my rodeo mom. She's actually been a factor in a few of the horses I've owned. But they had a horse named Blaster that Chelsea would barrel race and high school rodeoed on. And there was rumor that Blaster was for sale. So I really, really badly wanted Blaster. And it was time for me to kind of move up at that point in my high school rodeo career. I was almost done high school, going to be college rodeoing. And I thought, oh my gosh, if I can own Blaster, I will be the happiest girl in the world. So I had the intention of like, I really want this horse. Well, by the time I actually got to talk to them about it, they'd decided to keep him because he'd done really well for Chelsea at some of her college rodeos the weekend before. So of course I was really disappointed. And Annette goes, well, you know, I wasn't going to sell him, but I do have Blaster's brother that I could sell you. He's a bit younger and he's not really finished yet, but you know, you could take him and kind of season him and rodeo on him. So even though he wasn't finished, I really liked the looks of George, and I decided that I was going to buy him. So George was probably one of the nicest horses I've ever got to swim a leg over. He was insanely fast and just such an athlete. Not the easiest ride in the world, but so cool. And I owned him for a few years, and then I actually ended up losing him in a freak accident. So he ended up paralyzed, and I had to put him down. I had ended up taking 2 years off after this happened because I was so attached to him, and I actually held his head in my lap for his last couple breaths, and I was just so distraught over it that I needed a break from horses. So after about 2 years off of riding, I swung a leg over my sister's horse and I went for a little trail ride. So it'd been 2 years since I'd even been on the back of a horse. And I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to buy a horse again. So I called Annette that I had bought George from and said, okay, I'm ready to buy a horse. I really want to buy something related to George. Do you have anything? And she goes, well, I have his sister, but she's not for sale. And I said, well, Annette, maybe I could try her anyways and, you know, just see. And she goes, well, she's not for sale, but I guess you can try her. So she let me try little Miss Grinchy. She leads me. She's Grinchy. Now, I'm kind of a go-by-my-gut person, and I think I knew I was going to buy Grinch before I even went and tried her. And as soon as I swung my leg over, I was like, oh yeah, that's my horse. I somehow talked Annette into selling her to me, and I've owned her for the past 6 years now. And people ask me sometimes, okay, well, where'd you get the name Grinch? Well, Grinchy's mom, her name is Cindy Lou Who, and Grinch's registered name is Who's Cindy Lou. And she lived up to the name Grinch. She earned it. She used to buck. She was like not really the nicest mare in the world. She was a little bit goosey, I guess you could say. But luckily, she's grown out of the bucking. Because that was not fun.
On deck, Stormy Griffin in the hole. Susan Pierce, you're back here. Bailey Berry, you'll be the last one out in this set.
Like I said, I've owned Grinchy about 6 or so years now, and I love that horse. I'm really attached to her. She has taught me a whole lot. She's bucked me off a few times. She's caused a lot of grief for me because she's been frustrating, but you know, she's turned out to be such an amazing horse for me.
You're a maniac.
You know, she's seen me through a lot. I mean, a lot of times I've gone out there, cried my eyes out into that horse's mane, and she's just kind of like, okay, well, I don't know what's going on, but I'm here to help you out. And in particular, last year, after Chad passed away, I really don't know how I would have got through that without this horse. Like, she totally turned into a mom and just stepped up and was like the most consistent, awesome horse to rodeo on last year. And, you know, I wasn't even a jockey that could really do anything. I was so, you know, emotionally not present and really emotionally drained. And, you know, she just took care of me. So, you know, she's worth her weight in gold, that horse.
16 and 983.
We're not done yet. I wish you could see better in this video because she's like, you're such a goofball. Look at this. So one thing I swore I'd never do is sell Grinchy, and some of you might notice that she actually is for sale. So basically I had to come to terms with the fact that she has helped me so much and helped me achieve a lot of my dreams and taught me so much, but I'm ready to go pro rodeo now, and she's just not quite a pro rodeo horse. She is an awesome amateur level horse, and I know that there's someone out there that she's just gonna, you know, be a rock star for, but for what my current, you know, goals are and stuff, I just know that her and I can't do them together. So I know that she's going to be a perfect horse for someone else, and she's only going to go to the perfect home. I'm in no rush to sell her, that's for sure. But I know that she's not ready to be done and be a broodmare. She needs to go keep working because she loves her job. She loves to run barrels. And, you know, for me, I was like, well, I could use her as a broodmare, but I know she's just not ready to be done yet. So, yeah, she's only going to go to the perfect home, though, so no rush into that, that's for sure.
Cowgirl down here, Cactus, let's help her out, take her to the finish line, good run coming, hurry, I mean the horse, he's getting it.
Well, that's the story of Miss Grinchy and how she ended up in my herd. I love that Grinchy girl. She's so sweet. Anyways, thanks for watching Random Thought Thursdays. This is Meet the Crew Part 2, and I still have 4 other horses to introduce you to, so this is just the beginning, you guys. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next episode of Barrel Racer Live, which is going to be next Tuesday.